She doesn't panic when she loses you. Not at first. She becomes quieter, softer. And that's exactly when you should start paying attention. You think you'll recognize the moment she realizes you're gone. You imagine tears, chasing, long emotional messages. But that's not how it happens. The real shift is subtle, psychological, almost invisible if you're not trained to see it. I've spent years studying behavior patterns in relationships, and there's one truth most men never hear. A woman doesn't react when she feels you slipping. She observes. She leans back. She studies your absence like a scientist watching a slow experiment. And in that silence, something inside her begins to close. When she knows she's losing you, she doesn't fight harder. She stops investing where she no longer feels certainty. That warmth you were used to, it cools, but not dramatically. It's measured, controlled, intentional. Her messages become shorter, not cold, just efficient. You'll feel it, but you won't be able to explain it. Conversations that once had depth now stay on the surface. She's no longer reaching into you emotionally because she's already preparing herself for a version of reality where you're not there. And here's where it unsettles most men. She doesn't ask for reassurance anymore, because asking means she still expects something from you. And when that expectation dies, so does the need to question you. She replaces curiosity with observation. Instead of asking, "Do you still care about me?" she silently notes your behavior and draws her own conclusions. You'll think everything is fine. No arguments, no drama, no emotional outbursts. But what you're actually experiencing is emotional detachment in progress, and detachment is quiet. She starts redirecting her energy into her routine, her friends, her own growth, not to make you jealous, not to send a message, but because psychologically, she's shifting her center of gravity away from you. Most men miss this stage completely. They only react when it's too late, when she's already emotionally gone. But the real moment, the moment she knows she's losing you, is not loud. It's not chaotic. It's controlled, almost graceful, like someone slowly closing a door without making a sound. And if you don't notice it here, you won't recognize her at all when it's fully shut. Then something even more confusing begins to happen. She becomes easier to deal with. No tension, no complaints, no emotional pressure. The very things you once thought were problems suddenly disappear, and for a moment you might even feel relief. But understand this clearly. When a woman becomes unusually easy, it's not always peace. Sometimes it's withdrawal. She stops correcting you, stops pointing out what bothers her, not because everything is perfect, but because she no longer sees a future where fixing it matters. Psychologically, she's conserving energy, and people only conserve energy when they've decided something is no longer worth the cost. You'll notice she doesn't react the way she used to. Things that once triggered emotion now barely get a response. You might even test it, pull back, delay replies, act distant, and instead of questioning you, she mirrors your energy, or simply doesn't engage at all. That's not indifference by accident. That's emotional recalibration. And here's the part most men misinterpret. She might still smile, still talk, still show up, but her investment has changed. She's no longer trying to deepen the connection. She's maintaining a version of it while quietly letting go. This is where her independence becomes more visible. She starts making plans without you, not out of spite, but out of adjustment. Her life begins to reorganize itself in a way that doesn't rely on your presence. And the more she does this, the less she feels the absence you once created. Emotionally, she's training herself to not need you. And when a woman reaches that state, something powerful happens. Her attachment weakens, but her clarity strengthens. She sees you more objectively now, without the emotional filter that once softened your flaws, without the hope that once amplified your potential. She stops seeing what you could be and start seeing exactly what you are. And that shift is irreversible. You might think you still have time. You might believe you can step back in and regain what was there. But what you don't realize is that her decision isn't made in one moment. It's built quietly over time. Every missed effort, every inconsistency, every moment she felt unsure. All of it adds up, silently. By the time you feel her slipping, she's already processed the loss. And the most unsettling part? She's not waiting for you to come back. She's learning how to move forward without you. And then you start to feel it. Not because she tells you, but because something inside you shifts. The same intuition she once had now wakes up in you. You notice the space, the emotional distance, the absence of something you can't quite name, but you know it used to be there. Her attention is no longer centered on you. You'll see it in the way she listens, present, but not deeply engaged. In the way she responds, kind, but not invested. She's no longer trying to pull more out of you, no longer trying to connect dots or build something deeper. Because in her mind, that chapter is already closing. And here's the part that unsettles most men. She looks the same, but feels completely different. There's no anger driving her, no bitterness clouding her behavior, just a calm, grounded detachment. And psychologically, that's the strongest position anyone can reach, when they no longer need an outcome to feel okay. You might try to re-engage her at this point. You'll text more, show more interest. Maybe even say the things you held back before. But now the dynamic has shifted. She's no longer responding to your words. She's responding to your pattern. And patterns don't change overnight. So even when you step forward, she doesn't immediately lean back in. Not because she doesn't care, but because she's protecting the emotional stability she worked hard to rebuild. You're no longer her emotional anchor. And once that role is gone, it's incredibly difficult to reclaim. She's also less affected by your presence. The emotional highs you once triggered don't land the same way. The excitement, the anticipation, it's all been replaced by a quiet neutrality. That doesn't mean she never cared. It means she cared enough to process the loss before it fully happened. That's what most men misunderstand. By the time it feels real to you, she's already gone through the emotional stages internally. The questioning, the hoping, the disappointment, all of it. And now she stands in acceptance, not waiting, not chasing, not resisting, just accepting. And when someone reaches that level of emotional clarity, they don't go backwards easily. They don't reopen doors they've already closed in their mind. So what you're experiencing isn't confusion. It's the delayed realization of something she understood long before you did. And by the time you finally decide to show up fully, she no longer needs you to. That's the moment that hits the hardest. Not because she changed overnight, but because you realize she changed without you noticing. While you were comfortable, assuming time was on your side, she was quietly detaching, step by step, thought by thought. Now when you look at her, there's a calmness you can't break through. She's polite, respectful, maybe even warm at times. But the emotional access you once had, it's gone. And no amount of last-minute effort can recreate something that slowly dissolved over time. This is where many men make the mistake of trying to fix things quickly. Grand gestures, sudden consistency, emotional confessions. But psychology doesn't work like that. Trust and emotional connection are built through patterns, and lost through patterns too. You can't rewrite a long story with one strong paragraph, and she knows that. So instead of reacting to what you're doing now, she evaluates who you've been consistently. She's no longer emotionally driven. She's perceptive, grounded, clear. And here's the truth, most people won't tell you. When a woman truly accepts losing you, she also accepts herself without you. That's the shift. That's the transformation. She no longer fears your absence. She adapts to it. And once someone adapts to life without you, your presence becomes optional, not essential. That doesn't mean you never mattered. It means your role was never secured through consistency. So if you're watching this and you feel that distance, don't ignore it. Don't wait for a louder sign, because the loudest endings are often built on the quietest changes. Pay attention to what's subtle. That's where the truth lives. Now ask yourself this. Be honest, no ego, no excuses. Were you consistently showing up as the man she could rely on? Or were you expecting her to stay while giving her reasons to slowly let go? Write your answer in the comments. And if this made something click for you, something uncomfortable, something real, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this before it's too late.